Greetings. Welcome to the Money Script Podcast. I'm your host, Johanse Harrison, financial advisor and financial literacy educator. In each episode, you'll hear incredible interviews and get tips and strategies that you can implement into your daily life to help you improve your money script and grow your wealth. Thank you for taking some time with me today. Let's get into this episode of the Money Script. Oh man, welcome back to the Money Script Podcast, Season 2, man. We're deep in it. I'm excited to be here for Season 2, and I told you in Season 1 that I was going to go and start finding all of these young, up-and-coming entrepreneurs, all of these amazing applications that are out there just to help you take better charge of your money, take better charge of your life. So we are graced today with a wonderful guest. And I'm not going to steal any of the thunder from, but this amazing application that you can get on just about any app platform, I'm sure. And I came across his company while watching, what was it, the Entrepreneur Day with Damon Johns, I think it was. I believe his company was awarded one of the grants. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So I had to go check it out. So and I sent an email, and he was like, yeah, let's wrap. So here we are. So let me introduce I'm going to go ahead and say good friend, because we're working on it. Mr. Kiley Summers, I'll give it to you. Just tell us who you are.
Man, Johannes, thank you for the invitation to be here to have a discussion with you today about money, one of those taboo topics in most households. At least it was for me growing up. But I appreciate the kind sentiments. We do have a company called SpenDebt, which is a financial technology company designed to assist people to pay off debt, leveraging micropayments through everyday transactions. What does that translate to? Every time you swipe your debit card or have a banking transaction, you can pay off debt at the same time. So you don't have to feel guilty when you're out buying that Starbucks or when you shopping or you at Chick-fil-A, because every time you swiping, hey, you paying off debt at the same time. So I'll leave it there, and let's get into the conversation.
Man, and so let's start with just where did the idea come from to create an app that does this? I mean, I'm sure most people are familiar with because most banks have some sort of round up process or if you're swiping your card somewhere and they're like, oh, do you want to round up for charity? So you're using that rounding up technology. It sounds like is that what you're referring to?
I would like to agree to that, but that's really one of our biggest differentiators in the marketplace. But you are correct in saying that was the evolution of the technology.
Yes.
And so in today's world, yes, you can spend and save for most banks, like Bank of America Keep the Change program. You have Wells Fargo's Ways to Save. And you have other programs out there, right? Which do work, right? They help you spend money out of your checking account and they put it in your savings account. Right? Their goal is to help you save their money. And then you have, on the other side, you have other companies, financial technology companies, helping you to invest. So your audience may be familiar with companies like Acorn, right? Allowing you to spend money.
Yes, same technology. But that's what I'm saying. That technology was out there. You saw that technology, and but how did you get into the idea of using it for debt?
Yeah, so we looked at these models, right? But it was for saving and for investing, but there was nothing there that was allowing people to spend and pay off debt, right? So you spend and save, spend and invest, but nothing allowing you to spend and pay. And we was like, let's do that, because it's hard for me to save if I'm in debt. It's hard for me to invest if I'm in debt. Not to say that you can't do those things, at the same time, but if you got a 19% interest rate credit card, you need to get that paid down first, because that's gonna kill you. You ain't gonna be able to save enough, to get yourself out of that 19% credit card interest rate or debt. And so that was the kind of the overview and look, and just really exploring what was out there. But I think what motivated us was my wife and I, we were in over $100,000+ of consumer debt. And, a year after we graduated from college. And so I come from humble beginnings.
Pause. Hold on. Can't just speed past that. You said 100,000 in consumer debt.
Consumer debt. So that including, student loans, credit cards,
Okay,
auto
okay.
loans,
Student loans were in there too. Okay, I was
furniture. Yeah, student
okay.
loans in there
Good.
too.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I guess you could.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. It was over. It was like 140 plus. You know what I mean? Let me not shortchange it.
Okay.
Right. But this was fresh out of college. We first generation, just like first generation athletes, they have to buy everything for the first time. Right. So it's the new cars, the furniture, it's all that stuff. Right. So, we did that stuff, but in the midst of doing that, we found ourselves like our moms, single mothers raising three boys, at least mine was, and they was robbing Peter to pay Paul to put us in a better situation, right? So we can have a better life and not have to have those worries and struggles. And so when I got the year after college, and I got to the year after college, man, I felt that pressure when I began to like look at my finances. I'm like, where's my money going? It was tied up into all those things that I had bought. I was in debt. I'm living paycheck to paycheck as an engineer. Why? You know what I mean? Like, it was an emotional roller coaster just thinking back how I grew up. Like, if I don't do something today, moving forward, man, life will be rough. You know what I mean? And like my mom and family and friends, they didn't, push me to be here to struggle. They pushed me to be better. And so we made the conscious decision, like we need to focus on this. And so my wife and I, stuck our heels in the ground and started to kind of chip away at it. And hired a financial advisor, right, to just really understand like the world of finances, that taboo topic that we never talk about, right?
This isn't a commercial, by the way, but thank you. Go ahead.
It really is. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. Like I can laugh about it now, but it was painful. You know what I'm saying? Like running a rat race is tiring. It's painful, and you believe that you can never get to the end, but that's not true. You can, right? So we had to stop where we were and begin to look at and evaluate the inventory of the things that we were buying or we were spending money on, and begin to reallocate those funds to begin to work our way out of debt. And the first exercise that I really, really would encourage all the listeners out there to do is think about the debts that you have. Don't think about them. Write them all down.
Write them down.
Write the amounts down. Put the interest rate, if they have interest rate next to them. And once you know what you have, I want you to put them in order from the smallest debt down to the largest debt, right? And then I want you to focus on paying the minimum only on the second debt down to the last one. And then every little bit of extra that you have, you put on that first debt. That was the first execution plan and tactic that we had. And that was the last execution tactic that we had before we became debt free.
There you go. So what Kiley is referring to there is the snowball. There we go. Thank you. The snowball
method.
So and that's in where you, as he said, you first have to understand what you have and then you just attack it. And there's different methods because you could also go after the debt that has the most amount of interest. You could, you can put your own spin on it if you want. Mm-hmm. The goal is get out of debt. So, so whether you want to put the biggest one at the top, the smallest one, because some people, they'll have like a student loan debt that may be at a 1 or 2% interest, but then they have a credit card that's the same size as their student loan and it's at 15% interest, and maybe the credit card's a little bit more. Well, yeah, you might want to put that credit card ahead of that student loan. But the point is, come up with a plan, stick to that plan, and execute to the end. Okay, so you did it for yourself, but which is great. Hats off to you and the missus. But how did that turn into, I want to help other people. I want to create an app.
Yeah, I think it translated, after we got to the finish line, right, for ourselves. And we began to like celebrate, it was liberating. It was a great feeling to know that we didn't owe anybody, right? And we told family, told friends, but we realized that they were struggling and they was battling the same thing. And it was like, man, how can we help them? In actuality, God put this idea in my spirit And I ignored it at first, to be honest with you. But it came back, and I was like, okay, God, you talking to me, so I need to listen. And it was like, people are always going to be spending money. You're never going to be able to change those habits. I wouldn't say never, but it's hard to change people's habits.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's very hard. And so, like, how do you create something that allows people to still spend money, but then also pay up at the same time? And that's really how the idea came. And we just really wanted people to control their debt and control their money, and not let their money control them.
Mm. Okay, so when we met a couple of weeks ago, I did say that I was going to go download the app and sign up. I didn't. I had great intentions. However, I did download the app. I did sign in about 5 minutes ago. So
okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. So, I'm at the first page where it says set up your account. So this is, I mean, I admit we have some debt. I mean, I'm actually in a debt payoff plan right now. When we moved to Texas, we made some of that happen by leveraging. So we levered up a little bit, and now we've been in the mode of, okay, time to get rid of all the leverage. Some of the 0% are coming to an end. We've had to do some reshuffling, you know. I got one that's got to be paid by December 31st. I'm like, okay, I have to pay this one off. Let's go. And we have student loan debt. So I have a very small amount of my student loan, and it's at like 3%. So I've been taking my sweet, precious time on that one. My son has some debt on his student loan. That's Parent Plus. So I've shared this on many different podcasts, and it doesn't hurt to share it again. And this, I feel, is true for everyone when it comes to debt. Debt only comes from three places. One, you had an emergency that you did not have cash available to pay for that emergency. Best example I can give you, you have a flat tire and you have to drive to work. No money in the bank. Credit card. Okay, let's go get the tire fixed. It's an emergency. You got to take care of it. And emergencies come out in many different ways. It could be medical emergencies. The list goes on. Item number 2, debt will be created when there's something that is important to you that you don't create a savings plan for until it's too late. Okay. My son's college education cost is a prime example. I should have done a better job of saving for his college. And I can come up with every excuse in the book, but I was really adamant saying, son, you got to go to college. I also encouraged him to go to an HBCU. And he said, hey, Dad, I graduated early and I got accepted to an HBCU. And it's going to cost me $35,000 a year. And Dad was like, getting scholarships? A little bit. I'm like,
wow.
A little bit. What was I going to say to him? No, son.
No, yeah. You can't say that. You can't say that.
So what did I do? Parent Plus loan. Sign here. Now, luckily, the rates are at, 2.7 or 3. They were low. I was like, okay, this is low enough. I can manage it. But I'm paying on it right now as he's in school. So I'm trying to make it very short-term debt. I don't want it to be there when he graduates, you know? Mm-hmm. So needless to say, I have some debts. That's the point. And my wife also has some student loan debt that we won't speak of, but it's out there. Okay. So yeah, I would love to put together a plan on using some rounding up transactions to take on that debt. So it says, welcome to me. Let's start spending away your debt. I like that. Let's start spending. I had to read it twice. That was,
ding, ding, ding.
I see what you did there. All right. So set up my account. Okay. All right. Let's try that twice.
Set up your account. And the first step should be is to link the bank account, right? We want to link the bank account because that's where you are going to be paying from, right? So any transactions that you may have flow through that account, whether it's your debit transactions or you may have auto drafts that come out, right? Those are transactions that will be attributed, and the micro payment that you add on in step 3, that will be added to every transaction that you have.
Wait. Did you say every transaction? Every debit card and
auto drafts. Yes, sir.
So if my electricity bill is $147.38, then this can round up the electricity bill too.
Well, Absolutely. But remember, we don't use a round-up method. We use an add-on method.
Oh,
So
it's
you
just
can
something
add
like, okay,
on.
got it.
Yep.
Okay. I'll
So yeah,
probably
you can
understand.
define what that is. Yeah,
Oh,
you can define what
I
it
get
is.
to define what it is.
You get to define what it is.
Oh,
So it
that's
could be 50 cents.
brilliant.
It could be $1, $5, whatever you determine that, hey, what's feasible for you, you can add on to every transaction that you have. That's how we're
Nice.
gonna work off that Parent Plus loan that you got.
Okay. And I see
Right?
you
We're gonna work that
use,
thing down.
your company uses, what is this? Plaid?
Plaid.
Plaid?
Yep.
Plaid?
Here's Plaid.
Plaid?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Plaid. Okay, so that
Yep.
they're a highly reputable sharing information type company. So link the
Yep.
debt account. So then I have to say what the debt account is. So here I got to tell you
Yep.
what I'm trying to pay off.
Yep, because that's how we're gonna be able to send the money to where you want it to go, right? So if it's that Parent Plus loan, you put it in there, right? And just for conversation's sake, it's a box at the bottom of that step 2 that you can speed pass through this.
Oh, link
just
account
so you
later. Got it. Okay.
can link the account later, and you can come back and input that information. But this allows you to set up your account and get your transactions accumulated, and you can come back and add the information.
Got it. So you're like a mini bank, so to speak.
I don't want to say that.
Okay.
Because when you say mini bank, man, regulators.
Okay, so you're not okay. No, okay. Let's not say that. We'll take that part out. Remove that question. Okay. So let me rephrase the question. Okay, so with the accumulation of the payments, so SpenDebt will accumulate whatever that micro payment is, and then send it directly to whatever debt I put in there.
Man, come on, you selling it? That's it, right? We say we aggregate all of your transactions, and we send a one-time payment at the end of the month on your behalf every month to help you pay off the debt of your choice. That's it. You got it.
Got it. So then what will
that's simple.
Okay. So what will it, when I see this in my bank account, what will it say?
It'll say SpenDebt micropayment, right? You will know exactly where the micropayments come from. So you don't have to guess. And in fact, when you on our dashboard, I know I'm ahead of you a bit as you're signing up live on the podcast. When you get to the point where you're using it and you start to accumulate transactions on the dashboard, and we have a feature called transactions, you will see the banking transactions that you have, the amount. So if you got the utility bill $105.36 and your micropayment was $1, you'll see the dollar right next to it. It'll be side by side, and it'll look like that for all of your transactions. So we are very transparent in how we're adding those micropayments, so you can see how well you are performing. And in some cases, what we realize, or some people realize, is like, man, I didn't realize I had so many banking transactions in a month. It's real. People be spending. Even in the pandemic, people are spending. Believe it or not.
This guy's creating a coupon code for y'all right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, you got to give the people something. The people, they need it.
He wants all of you to succeed in becoming debt free. Just like that. Going to make it easier for you.
Boom. So there you go. So money script is you'll see that show up as your coupon code, and the promo code that you put in is money with a capital M.
Beautiful. Promo code is in. I hit apply. There we go. And I've applied money successfully. Complete.
Boom.
Success. All right. So I officially have a $0 SpenDebt balance. Okay. I see. View bank account. So that's what it's connected to. It's telling me that it's missing my linked debt account. All right. So I know I need to make sure I do that. Because of course I got to go look up where we send that
information. Yep.
There's some all-time data. Okay, so I'm gonna have to bring you back on the show in 6 months. We're gonna have to talk about this.
Hey, I would love to. And, I want to hear you say, man, we are knocking this thing down. We're knocking the balance down, because that's our whole goal. We want to help people. Our mission is to help save 1 million people from financial fatalities every time they have a banking transaction, and our app is dedicated and predicated in doing that. And so, for the audience, listeners out there, you can use our app. I'll give you 2 months free. we already give you 1 month. I'm gonna give you 2 additional months free, so you get the chance to use our product to help pay off the debt of your choice. And so
Yep.
we're excited about what we've created.
You said my people get 3 months free?
Come on.
Hey, man, see, 90, that's a 90-day plan right there. Try it for 90 days, no risk. That is the 90-day plan. Man,
that's right.
Start your 2021 resolution early. Start it right now. Be in 2021 already in a better spot.
Turned up, debt free, financial freedom.
There we go. There we go. So, all right. Well, I know we're up on time here. You probably got, turkeys in the oven and, sweet potatoes that need to be mashed up. So tell me, what was your first memory of money? When did you realize that money was real?
I was a little boy. My dad used to come home and he had this speaker, but on top of the speaker, like the old school speakers, like the big old speakers, back in the day, you could pull off the screen.
Oh, yeah. Those turned into my car speakers, actually. I took a bunch of those and put them in the back of my Nissan Sentra. Shout out
Boom. You know exactly.
Ashley, so he helped me with that.
On top of the speaker, he used to have this little change plate. He used to put change in there, or he used to put his dollar bills on top of it. And as a boy, I used to take all of that change down and money, and I used to count it. And my whole goal was to see how many different ways I can count the money. So it's almost like fractions, if you will. How many ways I can make $1. And then, occasionally we go to the store, we can buy our candy, and we're using the same money I counted to go buy the candy. So that's when I knew money was real and what it exchanged for, right? You exchange money for a product or service. So in this case, I was looking for the Kit Kats back in the day. That was one of my favorite candies back in the day. So I was taking that $1 buying the Kit Kat. So that's what I used it for. And that's when I knew money was real. But as an adult, my first realization that money is real is when I made the best, worst purchase that I could have possibly made out of college. And that was buying a brand new vehicle, a $40,000 vehicle.
Whoa.
And
you were a proud engineer.
A proud engineer, right? No financial education, right? The lack of understanding what $1 is worth based on salary, cost of living, all these different things that I really hadn't got a chance to experience because I was fresh out. And so that mistake was the best thing that happened to me, because that's when I began to have those realizations and the thinking of how I was brought up in those humble beginnings. So both as a child, playing with my dad's money, and then making that first big purchase and not really thinking about the future after that purchase.
Do you remember what the interest rate was on your vehicle?
Great question. It was low. My credit was almost perfect. It was like 5 point something percent. It was really low. It wasn't high. This was back in like 2008.
Okay, it's not that bad. Not that bad.
Right before the crash. This is crazy. Right before the crash.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, after I bought my car, they was giving the cars away with 0% interest.
Yep. That's how they get you. So I wanted to point out, though, just the irony in which you shared is fresh out of college, you had some student loan debt, and the bank was willing to give you another $40,000 worth of debt.
Mm-hmm.
You had a perfect credit score.
Mm-hmm.
So that meant that your credit cards kept increasing what your limits were, because all of those institutions were just making money on lending you money.
That's correct. I was truly the borrower.
I just realized something. We had to punch up something. The third way that you get into debt, I left this out. So I'll talk about number 1, which was an emergency. Number 2 is something that's important that you don't plan for. And I went off on the tangent about my son's college education, and we got sidetracked. Number 3, the third way you get into debt is spending tomorrow's money today.
Say that again.
The third way that you get into debt, we get into debt as humans. This is the third way we get into debt, is spending tomorrow's money today. That's it.
I did that. I'm glad you said we, because I did that.
Oh yeah. I did it. That's I told you we did it. That we had, my wife and I had good credit. Mm-hmm. Banks were willing to extend us credit on 0%, 1.99 for 2 years, and we're like, well, we want a fridge, so we don't have the cash. Sure. Now, fortunately, we're being, very, very responsible about it and making sure that we're paying it off before those interest rates expire. But I can't say that for all of Americans, because the average millennial has $30,000 worth of debt right now. Yep. And it probably, for some of them, got worse. I know for some people during the pandemic, it's gotten a lot better. So shout out to all them, the folks that have been able to knock down their debt because they weren't spending money going out, spending money traveling, and you repurpose that money and put it on your debt. Hey, keep going. Keep going.
I would say this too, and hope the audience understands. By no means am I wanting to discourage anybody from buying their dream car or buying this and buying that. But I think we definitely have to be prudent, and we have to be responsible. We have to spend responsibly, and that would be my encouraging words to you for those who want to live a little bit. I get it,
Oh, indeed.
But do it. Just do it responsibly, because, like you said, like you could be spending tomorrow's money today. Yeah. And what happens when tomorrow comes, right? I didn't have a rich uncle or a rich aunt, and so it falls right back, right back on me. And so, just whoever's out there, you want to ball till you fall, go for it. But just understand what the consequences are. But live your life a little bit. Enjoy. You work hard. You should play hard.
That's the motto that you live by and live. You said ball till you fall, but that's it. You're going to fall. Just know that the fall is coming. Ball until you fall. Just be prepared for that fall, and just know how you're going to get up and dust yourself off.
For those that don't know, I am from St. Louis. You can't spell hustle without the STL. And so we put the STL in hustle, Doc.
This guy. Hey, shout out to St. Louis. I'm gonna you know what? Right now, you got those shirts for sale, right?
I don't, but we can surely make them.
Make it out. Hey, so Money Script listeners, the first 5 people to comment from St. Louis, okay? Comment from St. Louis. We got some SpenDebt t-shirts coming your way.
Boom. There it is. There it is.
There it is. There it is. All right, well, check it out. I got to get down the stairs myself. Kiley, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on the podcast. We're going to book another one for 6 months. So 6 months from now, we're going to come back. We're going to check in how I'm doing on the app. Maybe I'll even have some feedback from some listeners, see how they're doing on it. And thank you for saving these 1 million individuals from financial ruin. That is a noble mission, and glad to be a part of this challenge with you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me today, and God bless everyone listening.
Amen. Thanks for joining us on the Money Script podcast. Be sure to check out our other episodes, subscribe, follow, and give us 5 stars. Continue to send your financial questions on Twitter or Instagram at The Money Script. Go to moneyscriptwealth.com and schedule your complimentary consultation to discuss your specific goals and concerns. Financial advisory and investment management services are offered by Money Script Wealth Management PLLC, a registered investment advisory firm registered in the state of Texas and California and other states where exempt. The Money Script LLC and the Money Script Wealth Management PLLC and guests of the episode may have interest in the investments mentioned today. The opinions and views are expressed here are for informational purposes only. This material is educational in nature and should not be deemed as a solicitation for any specific product or service. All investments involve risk and a significant loss of principal. The Money Script nor Money Script Wealth Management offer tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney for specific advice about your situation. Until next time.